G'day guys and welcome back to episode 16 of Gunning for Glory. Now we had a pretty average last episode which puts us in a tough predicament going into this one as we need 3 wins off 4 games to get this title if we want to keep our perfect title winning streak going. So it's not impossible, it's just going to be a bit of a challenge. Now at the start of this episode I did have a bit of a fuck up. My internet was playing up a bit and it was making the game really strange and like kind of laggy, but then it was making the opponent rage quit, so we were getting coins and our record wasn't getting affected. But essentially we disconnected without disconnecting. So with the coins that I got from those games, I will go ahead and buy something at the end of the episode for the allotted money that I got and then quick sell it just to even it up to make it fair, because otherwise I don't really think that's fair. So explanation on why the coins might be different in case you have noticed or anything, but that is why. A bit of a fuck up with the internet. I think I sorted it because the next 2 games worked perfectly fine, but it did happen to 2 games prior to this one. So we're going to jump into the first game and hopefully we can pick up one of these 3 wins that we need. Going into our first game, we come up against this nice 100 chem Italian side, very sweaty looking with that Morata and Bacca up front. Kind of a bit worried going into this one, but I was pretty confident in the way that the team was because of how fitness went. We had a lot of our good players in, and it didn't take us too long to get on the scoreboard, only 20 odd minutes, and it was a really nice bit of just passing play. He couldn't really handle it, and then of course he pulled all his defenders to one side, enabling Ramsey to get in and curve shot it in. From that moment I do not know why he seemed to almost give up. It's only 1-0 and it's only 20 minutes down, but he was really impressing me in the first 20 minutes. It was very back and forth, looking like he was going to get on the board, but as soon as he got that one goal, his whole team seemed to just collapse into itself, and just this play here was just enough. Like, to show you what I mean, I shouldn't have been able to score that, but clearly he was just shitty at the fact he conceded and was just driving into anything and just slide tackling, and he's just making it even harder for himself. And really, if he played the way he was, there was a very good chance he would have come back into it, because I have no doubt he would have. He was a fairly decent player, but that does bring us to half time. We go in 2-0 up. I don't show the stats for too long, I think, or I might. As you can see anyway, it's pretty even except for possession. I've got a bit more percentage, but other than that, it's pretty even. So I don't know why he dropped off so much. But I'm not going to complain because we need these 3 wins if we want the title, and I'm not going to complain if it is going to be an easy win. Now, going into the second half, and it didn't take us very long to do a nice bit of team play and skill to get ourselves into the box, and couldn't really handle it. We were pretty lucky with the deflection off the defender and also getting it back after he tackled us, but I also feel like Gabriel should have got the shot off to begin with for it to go in anyway, so none of that should have happened. So that does put us 3-0 up, and I think by this point it's kind of sealed. I only tend to lose a 3-0 lead if I go into the second half and they score the first goal, but we actually may add one more to the goals about 80 minutes in. Just turned it over from the free kick. He wasn't expecting it, just 1-2ing and then banged it top corner. It was a really nice goal, and again the midfielder's doing all the work. That game was 2 goals to Wilshere and 2 goals to Flamini, I think I want to say, was the other midfielder who scored. I might be wrong, so by all means please correct me on that, but that does bring it to full time. We do get one of the wins we need, which means we only need 2 or 3 games, which is looking a lot more likely. So we're just going to get the team touched up, get into the second game, and hopefully we can get 2 out of 2 wins for this episode, meaning we only have to get 1 win out of 2 in the next one to get the title, which means we can invest in a big player in the likes of Koscielny or Cazorla or whoever we feel is more necessary at this point in time. I feel like it might be Koscielny, but we'll see how we go. Although I do have an idea in mind for who to get at the end of this episode, and that might affect whether we get Koscielny or not in the next one. But we're going to jump into this second game and get going and try and get this second win. Otherwise, we're just talking fantasy because that's not going to happen. So jump in and we come up against this really nice, low-rated Bundesliga side, 100 chem with the likes of Hernandez and Prince Moting and all them kind of players. So it's going to be an interesting game. I feel like it's going to be a very overpowered side and he's going to get the best of us, but it will be an interesting game nonetheless. Now, we jumped in and it didn't take us too long before we got the first goal in a couple of minutes. Unlucky deflection off his defender. He probably should have kept better control of that, but not going to complain. Welbeck steals it off him and puts it in, put us 1-0 up nice and early, which is always good. I was really disappointed with this game. I really thought with the class of players he had, although they're not being that high rated and that good of players, I felt like he should have played better than he did. He was very, very, very sloppy in the way he played. He deserved to be in a much lower division. I don't know whether he was having a bad day or not, or just a bad game. It happens to all of us, but I was really disappointed in this. I was expecting a very close and intense game, but once that first goal went, it was just domino effect. We got one after another, and by the time we got to 28 minutes in, he had almost given up. I was expecting a rage quit, but he actually hung around, which was surprising. So, not going to complain. That means we can get more goals and also more coins for the end of match, which is good. We're coming up close to half-time. It is getting a bit ridiculous. We're already 4-0 up, and we are about to score again. Probably didn't deserve this goal. Ox kind of just bullied his way through, and not even sure how, because he hasn't got any physical, but it's a nice curve shot around the keeper after a very standard run where he probably should have even tackled me, if anything, but he definitely didn't deserve to get out-bullied by Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's unheard of. I mean, he's such a small player, but then things go from bad to worse when Perez, my silver striker, as you can see, he's just sliding his whole team in. I'm not going to worry about not kicking a goal just because he's been an idiot. I want these coins, and I'm just going to keep going playing this business as usual. Now that does bring us to halftime, and you're about to see about the stats. They are insanely in my side. I think I have 12 shots on target off 13 shots or something ridiculous. It's just a one-sided game, and I actually don't go ahead and show you any clips of the second half for a particular reason. Now, in the second half, straight from kickoff, he actually did just put the ball back to his goalkeeper and stood there for a long period of time. I was already got the 5 goals I need to get the most max coins out of this game I could, so I was happy to let him just sit there and see out the game, but then he also started doing stupid things like passing around the back line so I couldn't get it, or waiting until he thought I wasn't playing and then trying to score a goal. The end score does end up changing from the half-time score, and I don't put any of those clips in. It does end up being 7-3. Now, being that it does end 7-3, that doesn't resemble anything that happened in the second half. Because he was being such a jerk about the way he played, I will admit, a bit of a jerk back. He did get one really nice free kick goal that I don't take away from him. He did deserve that. I got a goal off him where I tackled his defender and ran it in, but in the last couple of minutes, I don't know, I just kind of felt like being a bit of a troll and a jerk back, so I did get the ball and get a couple of own goals just to kind of shit stir him a little bit, but that does give us the second win we need, which means we only need one win off the next episode, which is amazing. Now, what I was talking about before is who I was going to buy for this episode that might affect Koscielny is I was going to go ahead and buy Callum Chambers, which I do end up doing. Now, I know he's not a goal player and there's many other goal players still left of the team that we can still get, and you're probably wondering why we got him. I just wanted an extra defender to put in that back line. I know he's silver and he's not the greatest of players. Realistically, I'd probably prefer to have Hector Bellerin or someone there, but he's out of our price range at the moment, so I'm going to get him. He'll be a nice substitute just to play in the back line when people need rest or whatever. So I was eventually going to get him, but I'm just going to get him earlier because I'm finding the defence all seem to get tired at the same time because of the way their staminas are. But that is going to bring our episode to an end. We did get 2 of 2 wins and a lot of goals in that episode, so I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. I upload this series daily. If not, there is generally something wrong, but that is going to finish the episode for today, guys. I want to thank you all for coming and watching, and I hope we'll see you tomorrow for the next one. So enjoy your day, guys, and we'll see you later.